Everybody, in this video I'm going to discuss this past PSLE math question on the pattern. At first glance it may appear to be simple, but if you are not careful, actually you can make mistakes in answering the question, especially when the pattern is being changed, right? So that is why in this video I'm going to answer the same question but with 3 different patterns. Okay, so stay tuned. Okay, so let's read the question together. Chuchi has a roll of tape with stars and hearts printed on it. The shape follows a repeated pattern. Okay, as shown. She cuts a piece of tape from the roll and there are 144 stars on the tape. What are the possible number of hearts on the tape? Take a look at the first pattern. So we can see from this pattern that the repeated pattern is star, star, heart, star and heart. Excuse me for my drawing. Right, so we are told that there are 144 stars. So we can see from the repeated pattern there are actually 3 stars in each repeated pattern. So we have to take 144 divided by 3. I believe you're going to get 48. Right, so 48 repeated patterns before she cuts it. Right, so how many hearts will there be in these 48 repeated patterns? Right, so you can see in each repeated pattern there are actually only 2 hearts. So I'm going to take 48 multiplied by 2, right, which gives me 96. Right, so that is the first answer. Right, you're going to get 96 hearts. But that is not the only answer, right? Because if you look at the repeated pattern, right, she can also cut here at the end of it, right, excluding the last heart. All right, there will still be 144 stars. That is not affected, but she can cut it here. So the other solution will be, all right, this is what the end of the tape will look like: 2 stars, 1 heart, and 1 star without the last heart. Right. So the number of hearts will be, of course, 1 less. So 96 minus 1 to 95. Right. So the answer will be there are 2 possible numbers, 96 and 95. Okay, so let's take a look at this second pattern. So here the repeated pattern will be heart, star, heart, star and star. Right, so the first answer will still be the same. If she cut it here, there will be 96 heart as we calculated up here. But what is that the only possibility, or there's another possibility? Right, here there's another possibility, but it is different from the first case. Right, you can see that the next repeated pattern will be this. So we have the first repeated pattern, right, but the next repeated pattern will have a heart as the first figure. Alright, so she can also actually cut here. Right, still the number of stars will not change, but the number of hearts now will be changed. Right, so instead of 96, it will be 96 plus 97. Right, so if the pattern for the second pattern, the 2 answers are different from the first one. Right, 96 and 97. Now let's take a look at the last example. Okay, so here the repeated pattern is, let me use a different color. We have a heart followed by 3 stars and a heart. Right, so the first answer, the first possibility is the same as before, no change. 96 heart if the cut is here. Right, then what are the other possibilities? The other possibility will be if she were to cut 1 less heart, like this. right? So here it will be 96 minus what? Go to 95. Is that all, or is there another possibility? So there is of course another possibility here, right? Because you have to consider the next pattern. So what will be the ending? Let me draw here of the tip. This is one heart, and then the next pattern actually there is another heart. The next pattern. So the ending of the cut can also be like this, right? So in this case, the number of hearts will be one more, 97. Right. So for the last pattern, actually there are three possibilities: 96, 95, and 97. Okay, so as you can see, you have to be very careful in answering this question, because I believe there are actually 10 different ways in which you can arrange these 3 stars and 2 hearts as a pattern. Right, I've just discussed only 3 of them, and then there are actually, I think, 6 different answers. Here I only discussed 3 of them. Right, so I leave it to you to discover the rest, the remaining 3. Go to the link given below, try out a few of the problems, and see whether you can discover the remaining 3 variations to the answer. Okay guys, so have fun, and thank you for listening.